All right. May 31st, guys, last day of May. We have some interesting games, Dota and CS. With me is Gogi, the Dota expert, and I'm going to be talking about some games that we have in Dallas. Obviously, Dota is DPC, best EU. How are you doing, Gogi?
Hello. I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well.
Lovely morning here. A little bit cloudy, but there's a lot of games to
Nothing new.
follow this day. There's a lot of games to follow these days in both sports, esports divisions. So it's going to be a lovely, lovely day. And we're going to start with Dota. And we have, like I said, 3 games today. It's Hustlers against Hustlers. The D1 Hustlers against Entity. That's the first one. And the odds show that Entity is favored with 145. I don't know. Like I haven't been following the Division One for the last couple of weeks, so you tell me what's gonna happen here.
I mean, yeah, they are favorites, and I think they should be favorites. They're like kind of in similar position on this leaderboard. Both teams need wins. Hustlers to escape that last spot, and Entity to fight for like top 4 to go on a LAN. So yeah, it's super important game for both teams. Previous game, Demon Hustlers that they played against Quest. They played like really well, but like they played in whole series. They played Medusa, and Quest gave them that Dusa, but I feel like they didn't have like proper answer. On
Such
the
an
other
annoying
side,
hero.
yeah, and on the other side, Entity, I feel like they have like really good idea how to play against it. Uh, I feel like they have good idea how to play against it. They like to play a lot of Morphling. They like to play SD on support. So like two really good heroes against Dusa. So I feel like if Hustlers like choose to go the same way, with that Dusa, I feel like Entity is gonna win, these games like pretty easy.
Yeah.
And yeah, overall, I feel like Entity is a better team here. They like playing also their Wind Ranger. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's going okay for them. So yeah, we will see. I think in this game, I think Entity is going to win this one. To be honest.
I mean, it seems like they're chasing that playoff spot, and right now they're
Yeah,
just on the
definitely.
verge of it. And Hustlers are dead last with only 1 win so far. That's against Quest Gaming. So in theory, the odds are set correct, but we all know that how this thing goes. But
Yeah,
it looks like that Entity should be winning this game.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the game after that, that's going to be at 6 o'clock today, is Tundra against Gaming Gladiators. Now, Gaming Gladiators, we spoke about them, the best team in the world right now, won 2 majors, one back to back. And at this point, they are number 3, and they only lost to Liquid and in that 2-0 game. And so far, they have won everything else. Now, Tundra on the other side, they are the number 1 team, and they have all the wins in the so far in DPC, and I think they might have qualified, or they're very close to getting qualified. So the odds are set 166 for Gaming Gladiators, and Tundra is 2.2, which is kind of weird because they're the number 1 team, and there's number 4 team is Gaming Gladiators. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, but like you can't deny, like you already said, like they are looking like a best team in the world. They won like 2 majors in a row, and also like the last game they played against OG, they stomped them like 2 games in like under 25 minutes with like lead of like around 10k gold around, I don't know, minute 15. So yeah, they played like really well, and they stomped OG in that game. So I feel like towards the end of like this this season, they are just getting better, So I'm expecting them to come in best shape into this game. On the other side, Tundra, they played a lot of close games last 2 or 3 series, and they're they're playing a lot of like different heroes, different lineups. We can expect anything from them, which I'm a huge fan because it's just harder to play against it, right? For me, this game, GG is definitely favorite, and I feel like they are going to win this one.
Is 165 good enough? That's the real question.
And what is 3 maps odds? Around
210.
210. I think that's better odds.
Oh, I mean,
I think that's
obviously that's the better odds, but
yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah. No. Like
yeah,
that's better. That's better bet to take.
okay.
This better,
Um,
much better. To take that game will go into 3 maps because both teams are like super capable of taking one map from each other. So yeah, I would go for 3 maps here.
okay, I see. And then we have the third game between Liquid and Quest.
Yeah.
Now it's currently locked for some reason, but yeah, it's open now. So it's 1.3 on Liquid and Quest is at 3.6. Now Liquid is number 2, if I believe. They only lost to Tundra 2-1 in the last round. And you said it yourself, they look pretty good. Now Quest is, sitting on the fourth spot with 3 losses and 2 wins, and 2 lost the games they lost against the last team in the league, and they lost to Tundra as well. But it was a 2-1 game, so they seem to be taking maps, but not really converting them into like wins.
I mean, you know them from previous season that they played all like
Yes.
all best teams. They against best teams they won. And it's pretty similar story here. They are not winning. The best teams, but they are at least taking one map.
Yeah.
And they are playing good. They are really playing good. They're sometimes struggling. I expected them to win against D1 Hustlers. They lost that game, but I feel like it's just because of Duza, and they were thinking they are ready for it, but they were actually not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like going into this game, even though like Liquid is super strong as you said, I feel like they have like really really good chance to take one map from them, because Liquid is playing a lot of also like I can't say experimental picks, but they like to do different things. For example, against Tundra, Zai played 2 games, kinda carried Uza. I mean, not kinda. First game, not first game that he played it, he was like full carry, and he played extremely good. Next game that he played, he was going for some blade mail, and after that some farming items. So I didn't like that, and I think that's a big reason why they lost it. And Mike was playing Void with the Diffusal and Echo Saber. Some kinda like off lane build. Fighting
Yeah.
build, not like going for like that full
Classic carry
farm.
items. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they are doing a lot of different things, and it really depends how some of them will go. And as I said, Quest always plays good against good teams, and I believe they can take one map from Liquid here.
Odds on them taking a map are actually pretty high, 1.92. So that's
Yeah,
something that's valuable to take, I guess, in these circumstances. And yeah, I mean, you can double
it's
your money
higher
with
odd
this
than
kind of bets.
1.3, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah. Um, yeah, definitely. I do like this pick though. One of all three picks, I do like the last one the best. And it seems that has most value and the most chances to go in. Obviously, Entity should win, and Tundra Gaming Leaders, it's a biggest game of the week, and it can
Yeah,
go either way. But definitely, Quest to take one map is a good bet, and I think that covers all the three of today's games. And now we can switch to CS:GO. Now we have obviously Dallas coming up, not coming up. We are in the middle of the event, and so many things happen. Uh, and now we are in the last day of the group stage, and we're going to be deciding who goes to the playoffs. So there's 5 games today. I'm going to go like quickly through them. And Complexity Cloud9, we saw Complexity beating yesterday. They beat EG in a rough game, which they should not have won 2-0. It should be a third map. They came back from 7-14 and kind of won that map. And Cloud9 played a terrible game against Astralis.
yeah.
And it's just I watched that game till 4 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m., and it was just a bad thing to see. Cloud9 looks like every time they look like they start losing, they just look completely dead and depressed. The body language is terrible, and nobody's fixing it. It's the same old things. I always think they're gonna come back with some sort of being prepared for the event, and they always kind of screw up. So this game is, I
It
think,
was like
Cloud9 is
both maps like 16-8 or something, right?
16-8, 16-6. They started off the first map 3-1. They lost it 16-6.
Oh,
They couldn't really convert in anything in the second map. It was 9-6. And they lost the pistol, the first gun and second gun. It was all over. Like you can see it in the body language and the how they look. It's just
yeah.
terrible. It's just complete contrast from the first day. They were not even. I didn't see a smile on a single player from Cloud9 during the whole best of three. A
Yeah,
smile.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's just it looked terrible. Anyway, Complexity Cloud9. Like I said, it's 113 on Cloud9. It's pretty embarrassing odds, but I understand them because Complexity is playing with the stand-in. And looking how they look right now, maybe some sort of handicap would be a play, in handicap in rounds, maybe live, seeing what the maps are. So it's a no bet right now. So definitely, I would wait for live. The second game today at 6 o'clock on the A stream, I believe, it's going to be FaZe against Liquid. So now we watch FaZe, and we got the odds right yesterday against Ents, and they look terrible. They look like they're exhausted. They don't know what the hell is happening on the map. They're reacting poorly. The individual form is terrible, and now they are just facing Liquid, who is fighting for their spot into the arena to send off Nitro in a proper way, because after this event he's gone. And I don't trust FaZe whatsoever. I don't trust them
Yeah,
at all at this point. I think they look like they want to get it over with this event and just play
and
the
just go for vacation and like
yeah
get
play.
ready
I think
for.
yeah, I think they have the blast coming up after this one, and that should be the end for their season. And I think they're just looking forward to just go and go home and rest and whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
Doesn't look very well. Now the bet is locked for 1 second. I don't know why it's opened up right now. So let me see if I can find the odds are not there. Oh yeah, they are. So Liquid to win one map is 143. I think they're gonna win one map for sure.
yeah.
I'm not sure if they're gonna win, because every day FaZe can come in and just be super good simply because they have the individual skill for it, but it doesn't look like that. So I do think it's going to be Liquid taking at least one map and bringing it to three, and then whatever happens, happens. And then we go to the best game of the day. Obviously, the best game of the day is G2 against Heroic. Now the odds are split even 50-50, 1.9 for both teams. I know that technically it's not 50-50 because but you have the vig in the bookies, so it's like that's a whole other subject. Anyway, G2 against Heroic. I do believe G2 has the advantage here. I think Heroic is also exhausted from the traveling and from the major and from everything that's going on around them, and the org is not in a good spot. And G2 right now is playing without any pressure. I watched them in the first two games against OG and Nouns. Obviously, against Nouns, it's just a walk in the park. Against OG, they did look like they're controlling everything that's going on the map. And I think that's going to happen today as well. I think they are going to win, and it might be even 2-0. I don't think there is a map right now that Heroic can contest G2 on, except maybe Vertigo. Ancient is obviously there, but I don't know what Heroic is going to go for. And I do think it's going to be a win for G2 here. Let me see what the score is for 2-0. It's 295. I think that's worth taking as well. I think G2 is going to
295.
dominate. Yeah, almost 3.
Yeah.
I think G2 is going to dominate this game, and they're going to win this game without any struggle because, like I said, they looked really fresh, and they look like they are
And as I said,
controlling everything that's going on.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you. As you said, like when you have Nico and Monesi and such players playing without any pressure, feeling happy, it just just crazy what they can do. And I
See,
feel like they had a lot of pressure going into major, being last major, especially for Nico, So yeah, I agree with that.
as we talk about this, the odds are dropping.
Going
Somebody's
down,
listening in. Somebody's listening in. And yeah, I do think the G2 is going to win this one. Now, the next game is Mouse against OG of really, really good odds. I think this is the best odds on today's, second best odds on today's games. And I do think Mouse is going to destroy OG in this matchup. I think Mouse looks more sharp. I think Mouse looks more organized. They are the better team right now, and OG is playing with the stand-in. I watched OG yesterday against 9Z, and they look shaky most of the times. They got destroyed by G2 in the opener, in that opening best of 3, but in the opening best of 1, they did beat Furia, who is in a terrible spot anyway. So it was 16-14. I think the odds are here not set correctly. I think Mouse is going to win this one, and it's going to be probably a 2-0. And the only thing that worries me is that Exertion wrote on Twitter that he is sick, that he woke up dead sick yesterday. But that was yesterday. Maybe he feels better today. I don't know. But that's the only thing that kind of worries
Maybe
me
he
a
feels
little bit.
even worse.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing that kind of worries me a little bit because of the things that he wrote on Twitter. But it's been 2 days now, and he should be feeling better. And even with that, he played well. And on the other side, there is no Dexter, obviously, like we talk about. There is Regali. He's playing okay, and he was MVP yesterday. And he is a good opper, but he's not Dexter, and he's not a part of the team. So it's just very limited what they can do. And I would say definitely Mouse win. And the fifth game today is another battle for the spot in the semis, similar to G2 and Heroic. It's Ents against the Charlies. Now I'm gonna go all in on Ents on this game because I think they are looking super good after the major, even though I can never predict Astralis correctly. Every time I
Yeah.
try to predict Astralis, they go the other way. So it's just, I don't know how that happens. I think it's some sort of a curse or something. I don't know. It's just, yeah, but I do think that I'm going to go with Tents. I do like how they play. I do like how they look on the camera. I do like how they execute things. I do how they rotate, how they overall control the game. And obviously, they have a big map pool, so it's not going to be a problem for them playing, Ancient against Astralis like Cena and did yesterday. They can play Mirage against them. They can play Nuke against them. They can play Anubis against them. They're probably going to pick Anubis. Maybe I'm not really sure, but they have a vast majority of the maps, and maybe Astralis would go for something like Overpass, which is their staple pick. And I do think that this game will end up on like Overpass and maybe Vertigo for Ants. They can do whatever they want with their veto, and they will probably know that Astralis is going to pick Overpass. I do believe Astralis is going to lose this one. It can go to 3 maps, but I think Ants will win it. because Ants is looking much better than Astralis today. So, I mean, the games that I would definitely avoid would be Phase, Liquid, and Complexity Cloud9. But those three, I think, pretty much straightforward. Who's going to win this one? So I think that covers up pretty much everything that you wanted to do today. We have a lot of games, and guys, before I go, I just want to mention once again that, as you can see, 1xBet is an official partner of our channel and the content that we make here about betting. And if you go there and register and use code 1x Kassad or Kassad1x, you get up to 130 euro bonus directly from me. So make sure you go and use it if you are a betting person, if you are over 18 and allowed to bet. And also, if you like this content, if you think there's some other results that are going to happen, make sure you like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. And thank you, Gogi, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Thank you. See ya.